Welcome to episode 3 of the Current Backloggers. I am your host, Casey P., along with my good friend and co-host, Cody G.
Hello.
Cody, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. What's with the glitter book bag over there?
That's Danielle's from our trip.
That's great. I'm doing okay now that I'm not moving stuff. Been moving stuff last couple days, and it's been nuts.
Yeah.
I hate moving.
So how far along do you feel like you are in the process? Is it like almost done now?
Yeah, almost done. But all last week, nobody bought anything on eBay. I have an eBay store. And then as soon as I start moving and eBay stuff's at a different house, people buying stuff. So it's a 30-minute drive over there, 30-minute drive back to have the stuff. It's the only time I'm mad that someone bought something on eBay. Like I turn on my phone and there's an alert that you're supposed to get excited about. Like, oh, you got money. And it just made me angry because like, oh, here we go. I drive to the post office, print this off.
That's fair. So is that how you always do on eBay? It's never like local or anything? I know it's the point of eBay, but is it ever local?
You can have local pickup. Some items that are just too big to ship are pickup only. But if I have something like that, I just throw it on like Marketplace, Facebook. Throw it up there and just go meet somebody.
Have you done that on Facebook?
Oh, yeah, it's a good time. I sold a car radio. Remember the car radio that you found?
Oh, yeah, that was from there.
Yeah.
Down there, I mean.
Put it on Marketplace. I got like 60 messages in 10 hours, 12 hours, and they're ridiculous. And you get a lot of Spanish speakers on there, so I had to use Google Translate, go back and forth. But that's how I sold it. I sold it with Google Translate. And he showed up thinking I was speaking Spanish because of Google Translate. And I was just like, no. And I just gave him the item and just took the money. But
He gave you pesos?
that's right.
Yeah, I feel like Facebook makes that a lot weirder because you can see people's profile.
Yeah.
Craigslist, you only had an email. And that's all you go off of?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I see items on there. I'm like, I can just click and see this person and where they're from and their kids. And oh, this is also weird.
In moving, I realize I have really bad OCD when I'm moving. Just because games get damaged and like media stuff that I want. Like I have this pristine, well, it was pristine, Metroid Prime on the Wii, the collector's edition. And it got dropped on cement, and it was like out of a movie, you know, when someone grabs it. Instead of picking it straight up, they kind of like swiped it on the cement first and then picked it up. I could have cried. It was all I was thinking about for like an hour. I don't even know why. I was so mad at myself that that's all I could think about. I hate it. And games are supposed to be my escape from dumb things like this, but it's actually starting to cause it. And I haven't played games. I haven't played games in weeks.
Really?
Week.
So
Maybe a week and a half.
I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played much either, which we'll get into, but I haven't either. So at your new house, are you gonna have a game room or anything? Do you have any?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't lose my mind and set it all on fire. Because today when that fell and they just picked it up, but instead of picking it straight up, they just swiped it. It said, I'm selling it all on eBay. I'm done. I'll never touch another video game. Can't stand it.
That'd be a good time to start a podcast about video games. So what'd you do this week? Got rid of all of them.
I sold them. I'm done. I just, do you get OCD with your stuff like that?
Somewhat. Yeah, when we move, I kind of do, but I don't know. Maybe not as bad, but if somebody did that, I'm sure I would.
Yeah, and the thing was, two people helping us move were not gamers at all. They had no idea. And you'll know this because of the Halo 2 one. It was a metal case. And as soon as those get scratches in the paint, they just rust.
Yeah.
Immediately rust. So I already know what's going to happen. It's just going to rust. And nobody understood. I was like, it's going to rust. It's going to rust. And, like, nobody understood it. What do you mean it's going to rust? It's a DVD case. They kept calling them DVD cases, too. What is this? 2005? This is a video game. Okay. And then they grabbed this monitor, Samsung monitor they have from the 90s. It's a collector's item, okay? They go on eBay for like $200. And I felt like the red stapler guy from Office Space because he picked it up and was like, "Where do you want this at?" And Renee's like, "Oh, my girlfriend's like, I don't know, somewhere over there or something. This doesn't work. Like, looks like it's work." I was like trying to tell him like, "No, that's the Samsung for video games, and it looks really good on retro consoles." And they just kept over talking to me, and he was just literally like, "I don't think this is worth much." No, actually, it's, and they just kept interrupting me, and then I discovered he put it inside of another table, and the table's mushing it and on the plastic casing. I was just losing my mind. Then I had my super collectible stuff, really expensive stuff in the corner on a table. They moved it all. I thought I was gonna lose my mind, dude. I haven't slept in like a week and a half either. So I probably look like a complete psycho. It's also the first time I met these people. So they must think I'm completely insane. And they're asking about every item because they move around a lot. Their jobs are traveling, so they travel light. They're like, "So where do you want the Chuck E. Cheese sign?" Like, I feel so ridiculous. I feel like a child. But yeah.
Well, I mean, at least it's not here. I don't think we even talked about it on the podcast yet, but this booth is from an old Subway.
Yeah.
So imagine if they came in here. Where do you want this Subway booth at?
I'm such a hoarder. It's ridiculous. Also, all of my stuff spread out over 3 houses.
I know how that is. I still have stuff in my parents, so I know how that goes.
For sure. It's kind of fun, though, isn't it? Getting a box, and then you totally forget what was in there. It's like Christmas for items that you already own. Just that my hoarding, I just totally forgot about all of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes it's the case with me, and I get excited that I find something, but most times I'm bummed that it's another box that I have to deal with. Usually it's not stuff that I really care about, but then I still don't get rid of it for some reason.
See, I'm glad we're on the same page. I can't do it, man.
For me, I told you I went to St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
so that took up a lot of time. That's why I haven't played many games. I took my Switch Vita and 3DS and didn't play them at all.
Really?
Just had them sitting there. It's not that I didn't want to. We just were busy like the entire time. But we did a lot of stuff in St. Louis. Went to the Arch, did all the fun stuff there. Went to the Battlehawks game, and they destroyed. It was a lot of fun. And it was sold out, so it was nuts there.
It was sold out.
Yeah, they only opened the lower bowl, but that was 30,000 people. And when I bought my tickets, they were $30, and they were going aftermarket before the game started, starting at $90 and up to $500.
Dang.
And they were actually selling at the $90 rate pretty easily. That wasn't like something, you know how those pricings are. They never sell for that, but these actually were.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why they didn't open the upper bowl. I don't know what they wanted to keep calling it a sellout or what it was, because they could have definitely gotten more people in the upper bowl. But yeah, it was cool being there. Like I said, it being in Columbus where it tried to take a team away, and being in a city where it's taking multiple NFL teams away, it was like what I imagined it would be if they took the Crew away here. They had Chance going the whole time, making fun of the old owner and mocking him. Like every time they scored a touchdown, they had Chance for it. It was just...
That's great.
So that's why I said, even though I'm from Columbus and you know how I support teams here, it kind of felt like that was our team since we don't have one because they're the closest and there's some relation there to it. But yeah, we did that. That was a lot of fun. And then besides that, I really haven't working, just normal stuff. So
Yeah.
nothing exciting besides that.
Same. I've been working a lot of overtime.
Yeah.
Did you buy any gear there?
Yeah, I got a pretty cool hoodie that was
Nice.
$60. But there was a lot of cheaper stuff, but I don't know if I'll ever buy gear again for it, so I didn't mind spending $60 when we already went. Like a 7-hour car ride to go to the game.
Yeah.
I can do that and get a nice hoodie that's going to last instead of getting a cheap t-shirt that's going to be destroyed in a year.
I saw the Eagle guy was there. Did you see him by any chance?
Oh, there was a lot of Eagles there.
Really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was, like I said, I feel like it was just bottled up from them being so pissed off, but also excited to have a new team.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just losing their minds. Everybody was yelling at each other, but not like in a rude way. Like they'd come up the escalators and they all just start yelling, and everybody would start yelling at each other, and they all start waving their towels. It it was like you're in an insane asylum, but you didn't have to worry because everybody's just being stupid.
That's great.
And there was one thing that was a little yelling, but it was funny and wasn't harmful. We're past that 3-minute mark, so I think I can cuss now, right?
That's right.
So this guy, we were in St. Louis, obviously, and they had the Cardinals, so their rival is the Cubs. And they both had Battlehawk stuff on, but one of the guys had Cubs hat on, and this guy walked by, fuck the Cubs! And this guy, like, yeah, we're both Battlehawks fans, man. Fuck the Cubs! And he just kept screaming at him. All right, man, I'm just here to have fun. And he just kept screaming at him the whole time as he walked by. Oh, this is fantastic. I hate both these teams, the Cardinals and the Cubs, since I'm a Reds fan, but I was like, this is still hilarious. And the Cubs are way worse than the Cardinals, obviously, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm always jealous when people can have reactions like that. Like, no, I'm just here to have a good time, man. No, yeah, that's cool. I'm just here to we're rooting for the same team. Because in my ape mind, I'd just be like, and start yelling it back at him and possibly get in a fight. Because I just have no tolerance for that. Like, it makes no sense. I would lose my mind.
Oh, God. You said you watched last week's episode, right?
Yeah.
Of ours. Did you notice any corrections or anything? I told you one of our friends listened to it, James, said how the sound was an issue, so you try to work on that. Hope it sounds better this episode, but did you notice anything yourself?
Tried to fix it. Just a few minor things. Just like the lighting but I think I got that. The Witcher episode that I said I liked the most, the season finale, was a different director. And the writer was completely different than any of the other episodes. And I looked him up, and I was like, maybe I like this guy more. I wanted to write more episodes. And I looked him up, and he's only known for CSI and Jericho. And I just want I put that in there just for you.
Yeah, I almost took a drink. CSI was in there. Thanks to that. Oh, God.
Yeah, man. So maybe that's why I liked it so much, because he wrote Jericho.
Yeah. You still haven't watched Jericho, have you?
It's like 6 episodes.
Okay.
Season 1.
Did you like what you saw?
That was like 2009, but yeah, I remember really liking it. That was pre-Walking Dead and all the popular shows, and I remember liking it.
Yeah, it was even a little corny at the time, and especially now, but the whole storyline and how they did it is still worth the corniness. And the corniness, I feel like kind of, not quite, some of it I think is not intentional, but I think some of it is like Lost, where it's just so over the top and kind of silly at points, but still really enjoyable. So no other corrections, nothing that we misspoke about. So I know you said that's something that you want to keep an eye on.
I probably did somewhere in there that I missed, but not that I can think of.
I gotcha. So you said you haven't been playing anything then, huh?
No.
That's usually our next discussion, but it might be a light one.
I downloaded a mobile game because I got to play something for the podcast, and it was a battle royale game, like overhead 2D looking thing. I don't know. I just saw a lot of ads on the internet for it. I never played it because I was like, I can't do this. The loot crates and stuff. I did play Pokemon Go. Their alerts have gotten so ridiculous. When I first, because you get to play a mobile game, and you just like, you open it, X, X, X,
yeah.
X, 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 X. Limited time only, buy the battle chest. X, X, X. I was so happy that Pokemon didn't have that. They have that now.
Oh, really?
It was bad because I was trying to get into a raid. It hadn't opened in a while, so it was like 100 messages just hitting X. And the worst part is the messages. I told my girlfriend, like, oh, look what it's telling me. She's like, that expired like a week ago. And I was like, oh, never mind. So I don't understand why you'd tell me that. There's just some weird stuff they do with that game.
Yeah.
Counterintuitive, like, they're just like Eevees with birthday hats.
Oh,
Pikachu with birthday hats.
Tonight at Lost, we watch Lost every week, try and keep up with it. You should have seen it. Danielle said, oh, it's Eevee with the hat, and everybody started pulling out their phones. Oh, my God, we got the Eevee, and they all started freaking out. They were just losing it, and everybody's talking about how adorable it was. And I was sitting there, I'm pretty sure everybody else pulled out their phones to get Eevee. Yeah. So
I just want them to do something else besides birthday hats. The reward for sticking with that game for a while is nothing. You do like their challenges, you
Yeah.
get nothing.
What they do political hats for the upcoming election.
That sounds fantastic. Because I don't play it much, so I don't have to see it. Bloomberg, he's paying for it right now. Dude, I see his ads everywhere.
I know. I told you during that NFL playoff game, didn't I tell you? Out of, I told Danielle it's so ridiculous. There's 5 commercials in the 1 commercial break, and he had 4 of the commercials. That's not an exaggeration.
I wonder how much money he's spending on this. It's got to be insane.
Yeah, he's a multi-billionaire, though, so to him it's probably nothing. And on top of that, he has donators, and people are doing it without him spending a dime anyways, even though he has plenty of money to do it.
Yeah.
And I told Danielle that, and then oh my god, look at Colin Moriarty's Twitter, and he was complaining about I can't remember what he said, but put it a really funny way about all the Bloomberg ads, and I just said that before.
It's bad, man. It's on the radio. It's on YouTube. It's terrible.
Especially since it's not doing anything for him. He just keeps going farther down, but
yeah.
keeps getting promoted more and more. It's great. Did you watch the latest debate?
No, man. I just get angry. I can't do it. I had to check out.
I haven't seen it, but it sounds awesome if it's true. I always like seeing this stuff because you know how people are. You never know what's true and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he got destroyed in the debate again by everybody. But they said the crowd was going wild anytime he spoke. Yeah. Anytime he wasn't speaking, people were booing or being dead quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he literally paid off the crowd, which sounds enough to watch it. That sounds hilarious.
So I guess how it works, because I follow a lot of Facebook conspiracies pages, how it works is to get into that, maybe that one, I'm not sure if it's all of them, but to get into that one was $1,300 a seat.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a rumor that he just paid everyone to be there.
That's the disgusting. One that was here that I tried to go to was free, so.
Yeah.
But they clearly wanted a certain audience. Did I ever show you the email they sent me?
No, but can I guess?
I'm sure you could guess dead on.
Yeah, transgender, unicorn, snowflake,
yeah, is every
Hispanic single mom.
Well, they didn't ask for that. They asked you every category, though, what your race was, what your gender was, what you identified as. So, yeah, they were clearly, I checked out everything I was, white, male, straight, all these things. So that was probably just automatic. He's not invited, and I didn't get the invite. Yep. Usually, even if you're going to do that, you think they're doing that because they want all kinds of audience. Like, they do want transgender people, but they want the white male. They want everything. But I'm pretty sure they were doing a select audience, not everybody.
Which is kind of funny. Their candidates are just literally old white people. Mainly males, too, right?
Yeah, I think Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi Gabbard's still in it, but we know she has no chance, even though we both like her, but yeah. Elizabeth Warren's the only one that's still really in it, I think. And that Amy, what's her name? She looks like a female Dave, so I can't take her serious. I hope Dave watches this.
What's Trump's nickname for Warren? Is it Pocahontas?
Yeah. Do you hear his nickname for Mike Bloomberg? I didn't know he had one for him, too.
No.
Forget the exact tweet, but he said that last debate performance was the worst debate performance you've seen in the history of debates. And he said, you'll get him next time, Mini Mike. Don't worry.
Mini Mike. And
then later in the tweet, just called him Mini. And didn't even have Mike anymore, just called him Mini.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. And then he said, then he tweeted about how, don't let him get you down, crazy Bernie. You can't get rigged out of this again. And you really deserve it. I was like, what is happening? You insulted him and then said, don't let him get you down.
They also hate each other. I can't wait for those debates.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster.
Because I think it'll be Bernie against Trump.
It is aiming that way. I wouldn't have thought that at all. I thought it would have been Elizabeth Warren, maybe Mike Bloomberg, but yeah, right now it's definitely going that way. I didn't want it to be either of them, but that's what I thought was most likely.
We'll see if they screw him out of it again.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous and so obvious. Those are the email leaks.
We can go to a natural segue. Did you end up seeing Sonic?
No, man.
No? Oh,
no.
man.
I wanted to watch Sonic and Parasite this week, and neither happened.
Okay, well, I'll wait to talk about Sonic because I don't want to spoil it, especially if you haven't seen it. But once you do, we can then be a review, but a deep discussion about it because I would like to talk more about it. Did you see they announced a Borderlands movie? I know they're always announcing these video game movies, but I think that actually could be really cool. And did you see they got Eli Roth to do it?
Yeah.
So if they stick with that, then it could be really cool.
Did you see the writer too?
I remember hearing it. I can't remember who it is.
I forget who it is, but he did some of the newer scary movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of some subpar comedies.
Okay. I feel like they should get writers from Gearbox. They obviously already know the humor in the story. Not there's much story there, but definitely the humor and like the dark tone of it. I feel like you could make it kind of horror-y, but horror-y every time it sounds like really, really bad thing. But I feel like if they do it right, that could be awesome. I hope it's not one of these ones that just comes and goes. And the fact that they got him, I feel like gives it a little more hope. It's not just some no-name director.
Yeah. I think if in a perfect world, Gunn would have been perfect for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of humor for that would be perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think they should do like a cell-shaded?
I think that'd be awesome, yeah, if they did that.
So a lot of people mentioning that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was wondering, because I feel like if not, it's just going to look like any movie like that, like Mad Max or any of the... And that's what Borderlands obviously playing off of, those kind of movies, but it kind of had its own twist with the shell shading and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it would be cool to work that into the movie. I was thinking next week if you want to try and think of the top 5 movies we want to be video games.
Oh.
I think that'd be a cool, not now, because I feel like it'd just be us sitting here thinking at the camera for like a half hour.
Yeah.
But that'd be a cool idea to give us time to think about it. Because I feel like both of us have liked video game movies and think they have a lot of potential, and most people don't think that at all about video game movies and destroy them.
So we should choose 5 video games to be movies?
Yeah, which
okay.
I think we could each do that and talk which ones we think would work best or which ones we just personally want to happen.
Well, I think it was Giant Bomb brought up a good point about the Borderlands movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Telltale.
Oh, yeah. The
Tales from the Borderlands?
Yeah.
They said that was really... I didn't play it, but they said that was really good.
I only played the first episode, but I really liked it. I didn't stop playing it because I didn't like it. Just, again, too many games, but that's one I want to go back to. Yeah, it was really good. I could see that.
I hope they stick with it. So many of these video game movies get announced and then just disappear.
Yeah, or they stay around forever like Uncharted and just never come out and just keep talking about how they're coming out. But did you see the trailer for A Quiet Place 2? I've been meaning to talk to you about it, actually off podcast, but...
I think I saw the teaser.
Oh, okay. You've seen the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of a spoiler warning for the first one, but...
Spoilers.
Do you remember how the first one ends with them in the, like, the basement or whatever, and they're getting surrounded by thousands of those demon things?
Mm-hmm.
And all she has is a shotgun and her kids?
Yeah.
I really hope they describe how they got out of that. Because if they skip past that, that's going to really bug me. Because that was obviously an unwinnable situation, so something crazy had to happen.
Didn't they, though?
No, that's literally the last scene you see.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they started using the cochlear implant to scare them, and then that would cause their faces to open. This is heavy spoiler, sorry. The cochlear implant, their faces would open, and they would shoot them, and the mom went nuts. And they started running.
I'll have to watch it. I'm almost sure that's what they did, and they thought they were free, but then it panned out, and there's like thousands of them closing in, and that's why
Really?
Yeah. And that's part of why I was hoping a sequel would be able to look at like a different group of people or a different timeline. And I was kind of bummed when they just announced the sequel, but the trailer got me super excited because they are doing a straight-up sequel, which, like I said, I hope they address that part. If I am right, I'll have to go back and look at that. Maybe that'll be a correction. But the part that I thought was really cool in the trailer, did you see they're also doing flashbacks of the world falling apart?
Oh, really?
Yeah, which
That'd be cool.
I told you that's why I always hate about these kind of movies. They just ignore that, or even The Walking Dead. They just act like it's not a thing that happened.
Oh, no. I do remember that from the teaser.
Oh, really?
Them,
When she's in the car, is that what you're...
Yep,
Yeah,
in the car,
it was
yep.
so cool.
Which, another huge spoiler, which would be great because they could bring back the dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, especially he's directing, obviously it's his movie, so yeah, I think there'll be something like that.
His actual wife, right, too?
Yeah. Yeah, and it almost kind of seems like a Last of Us movie is what I think why I like it so much. But yeah, I was really excited for it, and I didn't expect that. So I think it's only like a month away too, if that.
Really?
Yeah, I think it comes out in March if I remember right.
Okay, PSA, because no one's listens to this podcast, but PSA, if you go to that movie, please be quiet.
Oh, I get it.
That's right.
It's a quiet place.
There was these kids in the corner that just kept talking, and that movie's dead quiet.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues when I saw it, but that would annoy me.
Oh, so bad. I threw a pop bottle at them. It wasn't like didn't hit them, but it was like near them. Renee was so mad. So just like embarrassed. But it was annoying. It was just like you had your seat and they're like, dude, did you see Christina on Snapchat? What? This is a beautiful movie playing right now, and you guys are giggling and wasn't it rated R?
Yeah, I think I said yeah instinctively, but I'm not sure.
These kids were like 11.
It probably would have had to been for them blowing up the creatures and whatnot. I feel like there's blood in that.
I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a great movie, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect it like that much, especially it was so hyped up, and usually when that happens, I'm always let down. But that movie is really good. I do feel like there's some issues with it, but that's how any movie is. Did you see they already announced a new Halloween movie? I didn't even know that was like the same Danny McBride and all of them, the same people worked on the last one. It's coming out this October.
No, well, now I think about it, I think they had mentioned something after that first one.
Oh, really? I was shocked because I hadn't heard anything about it. I hope it can be as good as the last one. I don't have an issue with them doing another one. I just hope it can be that quality again. Because I don't really know where you go from there, but it's kind of, you shouldn't have went anywhere in the last one either, and it worked too, so it might work.
Yeah. Halloween, I'm guessing?
It's October or something this year. October 6th, I think, but yeah, sometime in October.
Wow.
Going a little out of order, I should have looked at my notes better. We're talking about corrections, not really correction, but a few people asked me, it's our friends. I'm not trying to act like we were getting some crazy listeners asking questions, but a few people asked about the name, and I felt like it was obvious, current backloggers, but I feel like it's something I could probably do a lot better. I'm used to all these terms gamers throw around, and we just act like it's normal talk. But I feel like a lot of people maybe didn't know the backlog. I thought that was a common term outside of games, but maybe not. But just refers to the growing list of games you want to play, like all these games you buy or collect or have and don't play, and then it just eats away at you that you want to keep playing these games. So that's where the backlog part comes in, and the current is because we do keep up with all the current news and gaming and try and buy the newest games, but then have this crazy backlog. So I know Jason was one of these people who's very confused about it. So
Really?
Yeah. So I just thought I'd say that, and then what else was there? A couple people. It seems like these are fake things. That's what I'm trying to say. They're our friends. A couple people asked them if we're ever gonna do merch, and yeah, I feel like I know, right?
I don't like this. All right, I thought nobody listened to this. Can we go back to when there was like 6 views?
I know we're trying to get a more final logo, and I feel like that's when we would even think about doing something like that, because the logo we have, we both like it, but we're trying to get something more permanent, so I think that's the only time we would think about doing something like that, because I don't want to release something and then a week later change it, because I can't stand when I buy stuff from somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, I got it, and a week later they have a new logo, I'm like, okay, now this thing seems kind of silly.
Yeah.
And the only other thing was, I thought we brushed on it, but maybe we haven't. They asked if we're going to release them at a certain time, not the merch, the shows. And we're recording them every Thursday and then try and release them every Friday as long as we can keep with that schedule. And then if we have special shows like E3 or whatever, do that. But that's supposed to be our schedule we're trying to stick to. Because like help you ask if we're doing it at the same time every time. So
Yeah, which I think consistency is key for podcasts. And you're like, you don't have to come tonight. But it was bothering me. I was like, you gotta get over it. We gotta be consistent with it. I didn't even like. It was like third episode in. Really, Cody? You gonna stay home? I was so mad at myself even thinking that. Third episode in, dude, and you want to sit at home.
Did you see the stuff Microsoft announced about the backwards compatibility?
No.
Really?
I saw the specs, but I didn't see the...
Yeah, it's like official info from them. I kind of ignored all the stuff about PS5 and Xbox Series X. That's so weird to say. Because all of it's just all over the place and contradicts one article, and next time something comes out, so you never know what's real. So I usually only pay attention if it's actually from the creators themselves. But Microsoft said any first-party game they have that comes out on Xbox One, you can upgrade to get the new version. I'm guessing probably digital is probably the only way it'll work, but you can upgrade to the next generation console or version of that game for free.
Wow.
So he bought Halo Infinite on the one, and he bought a Series X. You could upgrade it to that. And they said that they're opening it to all games, so it doesn't have to be Microsoft games.
Wow.
But it's up to, obviously, the other developers to follow through with that. But all first-party games are going to be able to do that.
Do you think there'll be a long period where that's happening, though? Like where games are coming out on both?
Yeah, they said that there won't be exclusive Xbox Series X games for 2 years.
What?
Yeah, which I think is nuts.
I'm not okay with that because I feel like that's them slowly introducing the phone model. You know, everyone always talks about that. How video games will soon be like phone models, where your last one could still do what the new one does.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the worries I have. I do think it's cool to have that feature, especially with parents. You know how it used to be. Our parents be like, so can you get this on a new one? No, nothing connects. I feel like the fact they're giving you that upgrade program and they're talking about backwards compatibility being like across the board, I feel like those are good points. But yeah, that's, when we first tried this podcast, we talked about that was one of my biggest worries about releasing these consoles. They said how everything would keep working and work together. Eventually, I have the original Xbox One right now. If I play Halo Infinite on that against somebody that has a Series X, I can't imagine that I'm going to get the same experience they do and that it's not going to hinder one of us or both of us in some way. So, yeah, I feel like it's getting towards that, and I don't know. It's kind of, I feel two ways about it because I didn't want to buy a new console because I wasn't ready for one, but I told you Halo would be the thing that gets me to buy it, which I still think I'm going to because, like I said, I feel like that's the best way to play Halo right now. But it does make it a little harder selling point to buy a new console when I know I can still get Halo on my console now. So, I don't know. I can see it working both ways for him. I don't really know which way it goes.
I kind of want to get it day one because I feel like day one consoles, that whole experience of getting into the store and waiting, might be dying.
Yeah.
I want to take it in as much as possible.
Yeah, still, like I said, I'm leaning towards that way. When originally I said I didn't need a new system, but that would be my one breaking point is Halo. But then when they announced you could still get on the old one, I was like, I don't know, maybe I will wait. But then, like I said, I do think I can't see any way that Halo Infinite is going to play the same on a brand new Xbox opposed to one that's, 7 years old at this point now that I have. I feel like there's no way that I'm going to get the same experience. And something like Halo, I'm going to want to play the best I can, not something that is 7 years old. So I'll probably be the same way, especially if you or other people go and get it. Because I would add to the excitement of going to get one and it being an experience and all that. Because like you said, we don't know how many times we're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's fun going to those. And I think when you realize that they might be going towards the phone model, is they said that the Xbox One X controllers, or what is it, Pro controllers?
The Elite.
The Elite controllers, jeez. The Elite controllers will also work on it.
Yeah.
That's another way they're sliding. Because when's the last time you had the old controllers worked on a new console?
Yeah, they keep saying that, and I don't know if the other ones are going to too, because I don't see any reason the Elite can and the other ones can't. I feel like they're trying to get people to buy the most expensive one, but I don't see why the ones we have now won't work if the Elite would. I don't know what would be different about it.
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Which, like I said, that does scare me for the part you're talking about. but also is nice for us, and especially people that were our age trying to get new consoles and talk their parents into it. It's a way easier to talk when you can be like, yeah, everything I have just works with it. Because I don't know about you, but I know my parents. They're so why do you need a new one? No, well this, and then okay, so does your other stuff work? No, none of it works. So you have to rebuy everything. Yeah, I feel like it's a way easier talking about. Yeah, all this stuff still works. I just get more on top of it. I feel like it's way easier to explain to somebody who doesn't really get games.
Or it could backfire. Like, why do you need it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I never had that happen, so I don't know if my parents would have just taken both ends of that. So the free games are, I'm laughing because the first one for Xbox again. We actually only have one more day of it because this is coming out on Friday. TT Isle of Man is available till the 29th. So is Call of Cthulhu and Star Wars Battlefront. And then PlayStation Plus for, you only got like one more day left on that, is a BioShock Collection, Sims 4, and Firewall Zero Hour. And then do you see the new ones announced for March?
No.
They did a Shadow of the Colossus, so like one of the most historic video games of all time. I've never even played it, I just know that. But then they give you Sonic Forces with it. I was like, who's putting these games together? I'm pretty sure I've reviewed pretty poorly, right, Sonic?
Sonic Forces? Yeah, I think so.
And then one of the most like historic video games of all time.
You can pretty much assume like even mid 90s to now, if it's a Sonic game, it's usually reviewed poorly.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, like, besides Sonic, like what you think of Sonics. If any of those are reviewed, it's possible there's some out there, but
yeah,
doubt it.
I feel like the last one I heard being really good was Sonic 4 and then Sonic Generations, and that was about it. I feel like those two stood out. I feel like they stood out for a reason because it was surrounded by so many mediocre or bad ones.
Oh, the remake, the fan remake where Sega actually just hired them.
Is that Generations? That's the one where they have like, well, Generations of Sonic, like there's 4 different ones or whatever.
It might be. That might be what you're talking about. That's bothering me now. I'm trying to figure it out. I had it, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But, I feel like a lot of people that dislike Sonic, I agree with them. Those when it comes to calling, like, where's this? You just going fast. You don't even know what you're doing. You're just running.
I feel 2 ways about that. As a kid, I absolutely loved Sonic, and there's nothing wrong with it to me. And he always used to say that. And I kind of agreed that it's just nonsense. But then I feel like that kind of seeped too far into it that I like him, and a lot of my points just go to him. But like I said, I try not to just agree just because I like him. There's plenty of things I disagree with him about. I played it more, and I feel like that is kind of in between. I feel like Mario's the same way. If you start moving that fast, you have no idea what's going on with Mario, especially him and a lot of people play it say you need to play Mario like that. You can't stop moving, and it's just nonstop sprinting. So I feel like Mario becomes the same way if you play it like that. I get Sonic is meant to be played like that, but like I said, I feel like people that say that play Mario the same way and think Mario's amazing, which I love Mario, but I don't know. Maybe it's also nostalgic because of, I almost laughed saying that word. Maybe it's just because nostalgic with Sonic, but I don't know. I still do kind of. I wanted to. It's weird. Seeing the Sonic movie made me want to go back and try Sonic 4 again or Generations, which I did not expect seeing a Sonic movie at all. I was like, this would remind me of the games I used to like and I won't care at all. But it kind of made me want to go back and try those again and see how I feel now.
Weren't some of those guys, too, in that the fans that they eventually hired, weren't they also involved in the movie?
Oh, were they? I didn't know that.
I think the redo, the art.
Oh, is that where? Yeah, I feel like I do remember hearing that.
Could you imagine their lives? Like, you're just doing this because you love Sonic so much, and then they're just like, we need you. We're over here on life support. Sonic's just beep.
Yeah, especially when you like Sonic that much, that would be the easiest fix in the world. Okay, you guys gave us this fucking atrocious looking thing that's nothing like Sonic. So, all right, just all you gotta do is copy and paste the Sonic as the same video game, and you're good to go.
Yep.
There's no hard work there at all. I mean, you gotta. Obviously, hard work to do that, but if you know how to do that, it couldn't be any easier. So I thought of a new topic for us each week. It's called fake outrage, and because you know how everybody's outraged by everything now, and we always get annoyed at that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking each week we could try and think of something that offends us or we're outraged by, but we're not actually offended or outraged by it at all, just so we can add to the fake outrage a little bit.
Okay.
So, like mine this week, it doesn't have to be video game related, but mine this week, I was thinking about Kirby and how much of a piece of shit he is. And it kind of offends me how he always just sucks people up and does whatever he wants with them and controls their body and their powers. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like the R word in a way, and like rape. I realize it sounded like something else.
Yeah, I went to retarded for some reason.
No, after I said that, I was just trying not to say something that might actually offend people, but then I realized that it sounded like that too. But I don't know. I feel like it kind of just takes advantage of people and use them for everything they're worth, and then just shits them out, and then just does it to another person, and just it hurts my feelings a little bit. You don't have to think of one now because obviously it'd be unless you got something ready to go.
I'll try to think of something sneaky in there. You can continue. I'll think.
That's pretty much all I had to say about him. Besides the fact that even on the amiibo, I'm sitting there looking at him. I already had this idea. I just realized he was right in sight, so to make it even worse. They're just kind of sitting there like a little shit with his arms or legs, or I don't know what you call those, sitting there. And all these people have like these cool poses, and that piece of shit's just sitting there like a blob of nothing.
He's cleaning up after an R word. He's just so content with his R word. Yeah, I'll have to think one for next week if I can think of any.
Also, we don't have to force it each week. If there's nothing we can think of, we don't have to just think of a dumb one. I had a brilliant one. I actually thought of this before we even started the first episode, and I lost it and ever since then. It's going to sound so dumb, but it's been bugging me every day. I have to try to think of what this was. So I was like, Kirby one was okay, but I had a really good one that was actually offend other people, but should never actually offend people, and that's what I'm trying to do with these. Obviously, I give two shits about Kirby. Doesn't offend me at all. And I think it's hilarious that he does that, but I just thought it was a funny idea because we both can't stand how it's become like that.
Yeah.
That people just find. I could actually see that. I exaggerated it, but I could see people making that into something with Kirby and talking about how he uses people for whatever he wants and making this something that is obviously nothing to do with Kirby.
I have one.
Okay.
I can't stand when white people attach themselves to Japanese culture and just actually I learned the word for it and someone was seriously using it on TikTok. It was a culture vulture.
I thought you were going to say appropriation. I was like, yeah, I know that, but that's even worse.
Yeah, so I'm just so tired of the white people. First, we bomb them, like destroy their empire. They had an empire, and we destroyed it. And then we pussify their entire culture, and then now we're stealing that from them as well. But then we take it and then tweak it a little bit. Like we're like, oh, we'll take your sushi, but it's got avocados. And so that's what's really aggravating me, that what white people have done to the Japanese. Culture vulture.
I think I made a mistake with this, but I love it. So, I feel that's a good point to tell anybody if they have any fake outrage that they need to share and just get something out their minds, they should do it and share it with us and tell us what's just really bothering you and what you feel like you can't tell people. If you want to do it on the YouTube comments and our social media, I feel it's a good spot to let us know.
Yeah. I like that.
I feel like this might be a shorter episode. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it, man. Oh, eventually we want to get on podcast streaming.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'd be the next step.
That's actually, I forgot to put that in my notes, but that was one of the things that I was telling people that eventually we're going to try and do a podcast, and I was going to try and update it on here, so I'm glad you brought that up.
It's not cheap, and it's kind of a weird thing that I'm still trying to learn and figure out.
Yeah, kind of like this whole thing. But
for sure, it's a learning experience.
Yeah. So, I guess, is that it for episode 3?
I think that's it. We're still, it's still recording.
All right. Well, as always, make sure you like and subscribe. And,
Comment.
yeah, if you, I didn't even know I knew it was a thing, but somebody told me that we should remind people to turn on notifications on YouTube, because I guess some people have so many people they follow that they can't even keep up with it. So that might be a good way to,
The little
if you don't,
bell.
yeah, exactly, the bell. That's what somebody said, the bell, and I was, what? But
My favorite's when a YouTube video starts with that. You ever get those?
no, see, that's why I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know that was like a thing to advertise that or.
There's so many versions of that. It'll start out where it's like, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell.
Dubstep.
And my favorite, too, is like when people are in the middle of a vlog. Hey, guys, what's up? Today we went to Aldi's. And while they're talking, like a computerized mouse comes up. And then it has like the subscribe button or the notification bell. And it's like, bring! And like it makes like animation and terrible noises and while their video's playing.
I feel like I need to get better at editing and have you go home and then edit these videos and add stuff in like that.
Just put it on my face.
Especially since our video right now is just so bland, just us sitting here, so it'd be extra obvious when something like that happens. Those videos are usually already over the top, so it doesn't kind of fits in with the style. Ours would not at all.
Most definitely.
But besides that, I guess you could follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at the current backlogs, and then you can always email us at thecurrentbackloggers@gmail.com. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, questions.
Yeah, feedback.
I almost said questions, comments, and concerns. I've heard that 1,000 times.
Yeah, I've actually stopped myself. That's why I say feedback, because I knew I'd do the same thing. But that's part of what I'm saying, that I feel like we're not trying to steal or mock. I feel like anything, when you like stuff, and that's part of why we listen to them, is because we do enjoy it and think they do a good job. So naturally, that's what your brain's going to do. Not that you're trying to imitate it. Just that's natural when you like something. Like any comedian, I feel like the comedians I like are more my humor coming out. I don't try and mock them, but I feel like it's natural when you like something like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I love you.
Is that it? Oh, I love you too.
Oh, one of those every episode.